Welcome to the week of December 13th. This week, I am using the Gods and Titans deck for the Zodiac messages. So we will get started with the Zodiac messages and we will end the video with the astrology report. So let's go on ahead and get started. Just want to give you an overview of each sign. Okay, so let's go on ahead and get started with Aries. Aries. Aries, this week you have the Apollo card. So let's get into your message, Aries. The Apollo card, it says inquiry. Okay, so this week you need to look for the truth in the situation. Okay, take the time to uncover and connect with who you really are and what you really want this week. Okay, use your inner wisdom. Let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, this week you have Thor. Okay, so in this deck, each card is a god or titan. So Taurus, this week you have Thor. Okay, so let's get into your message, Thor. Taurus, this week you are asked to take action on something. Okay, the time has now passed for waiting. Real action is necessary in something in your life right now, Taurus. The time has come for you to take action this week, okay? Trust that you are protected and supported while you move forward. That was for Taurus. Let's move on to Gemini. Gemini, this week you have the Jade Emperor. Jade Emperor. So, your message this week, Gemini, is organization. You are asked to become organized this week. You are asked to streamline some things, reorder some other things. You are being asked to declutter, okay? All of that will clear the way to a natural, effortless flow, okay? So if you feel like you've been stuck lately, you are being asked to reorganize yourself, okay? Let's move on to Cancer. So Cancer, this week you have the Titan Bull. Okay. Oh, so let's get into your message. Cancer, this week you are being asked to focus. You are being asked to clear your mind of unnecessary thoughts. Okay. You are being asked to focus your intent on only the necessary items right now. Okay. Also, you are being reminded that you need the stamina for long-term projects. So don't waste your time on too many short-term projects this week. Focus more on long-term projects, Cancer. Okay, let's move on to Leo. And let's see, what does Leo have this week? Leo has I Pooch. Okay, I Pooch brings to the surface any fears. Let's see, can you see the word fear? Okay, yes, you can see it. Okay, so Leo, this week you are being asked to examine your fears. Ask yourself, what is there to be afraid of? Okay, so Leo, you are being asked to confront what frightens you this week. And our pooch is going to help you with that. Okay, so let's move on to Virgo. Virgo, this week you have Prometheus. Okay, Prometheus. So your message this week, Virgo, is you need to make decisions or start projects for the good of all. So, Virgo, you're being asked to think not only of yourself this week, but also of others. Ask yourself, how are my actions going to affect the next person? Okay? You need to seek out a healthy balance between yourself and others. So even though you are being asked to think about others, you're also being asked to think about yourself, because this is saying that sometimes you might have the tendency to think more about the feelings of others versus your own feelings, okay? That was for Virgo. Let's move on to Libra. Sorry for the background. I was trying not to show you the background, but things happen. So Libra, you have they ame. Okay. So this week, Libra, you are being asked to beautify some things. Okay. Whether it's your home, whether it's your body, you are being asked to concentrate on the beauty of an object, the beauty in a person, the beauty of a place. You are being asked to beautify this week. Okay. Next, we're moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio, you have Loki. So you are being asked to have a good time this week. Don't take everything so serious. Find some things you like to do and do them and enjoy doing them. You are being asked to enjoy yourself this week. That is for Scorpio. Moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you have Vulcan. So Sagittarius this week, 1 minute. Okay. So Sagittarius, this week you have Vulcan. And Vulcan is all about finding new ways to do something, new ways to say something. So for you, you are being asked to be creative this week, Sagittarius. Think outside the box this week, Sagittarius, okay? Go for the most creative solution, okay? You're also being asked, Sagittarius, you're also being asked to hold your emotions in check and think rationally this week. Let's move on to Capricorn. Capricorn, this week you have Achilles. Okay, so you are being asked to have a lot of confidence this week. Don't focus on your weakness. Okay, if you've ever heard of the term Achilles heel, that's where this comes from. Achilles was a god, and he is here to make sure that you focus on the positive aspects of yourself and don't focus on your weaknesses. Don't focus on your Achilles heel. Your Achilles heel is a part of you that is a weakness. So you are being asked to have a lot of confidence this week, Capricorn. Let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius, this week you have Eros. So a lot of you Aquarius people might be focused on love this week. You might be focused on love. You might be asked to show others love. It could be romantic love. It could be just familial love. But you are being asked to focus on love this week, Aquarius. Love, love, love. Okay. Let's move on to Pisces. Pisces, this week you have Cernonas. You are being asked to be flexible. Okay. You see here it says shape shifting. Let's see if I can show it to you. It says shape shifting. There we go. Shape shifting. So you are being asked to be flexible this week, Pisces. If you know the last few weeks you haven't been very flexible, you are being asked to be flexible this week, Pisces. So those are the zodiac messages for each of the signs. I'll just give you a recap and then we'll get into the astrology report. This is the Astro report for the week of December 13th. And on the 13th, we have a square. We have Mercury in a square to Neptune. Now, this could be a day of considerable confusion because what's happening is Mercury is the planet that deals with communication. Neptune is the planet that just wants to fantasize in dreams, basically, okay? There's a lot more to Neptune, but this is what I'm focusing on at this point, okay? Mercury in a square to Neptune. So this is a day that you have to be careful. You have to watch what you say around this time because when you have Mercury and Neptune in a square to one another, confusion can be a result. So you might say one thing, but everyone else hears something else, and this is a day where misunderstandings are possible. So make sure you choose your words very carefully around the 13th. Okay. Also, you may feel inclined to keep a secret or hold back information in order to avoid a confrontation with someone around this time as well. Okay. Now, also on this day, be very careful about any kind of negotiations or business dealings. Okay. Because you could be the victim of misrepresentation when we have Mercury in a square to Neptune. Now let's move on to the 14th because on the 14th we have the new moon. We have a new moon happening on the 14th. And then we also have Venus in a sextile to Jupiter. And that is pretty much a great aspect. Venus in a sextile to Jupiter. And we also have Mercury in a trine to Mars on the same day. So that is basically, you have some good things happening on the 14th. You have the new moon. The new moon is great for new beginnings. Okay. Um, you have the new moon, and it's the new moon is in Sagittarius. Okay, I didn't write that down here, but on the 14th, the new moon is in Sagittarius. Okay, you also have Venus in a sextile to Jupiter, and then you have Mercury in a trine to Mars, all on the same day. So the 14th is looking like it will be a great day for a lot of people. You have a lot of great aspects happening on that day. Okay, so let's talk about Venus in a sextile to Jupiter. So when Venus is in a sextile to Jupiter, you might feel very content. Okay, a lot of people are going to feel at peace with the world, with themselves, with others around this time. This transit is favorable for all financial enterprises, especially anything involving foreign investments or medicine or law. Any type of legal matters are great to work out under this transit. Now, as far as love is concerned, any new relationship that begins under this transit will be a very beneficial relationship. Okay, that's when Venus is in a sextile to Jupiter. Now, let's talk about Mercury in a trine to Mars, okay, which is also a great aspect as well. Mercury in a trine to Mars. So, and then remember, you have the new moon. All of this is happening on the same day as the new moon. So, with Mercury in a trine to Mars, it is a great time for any type of mental work. You will have more energy than usual, and you will not be easily discouraged when we have Mercury in a trine to Mars. It is a great transit. It is also a good transit for public speaking and for pitching ideas as well. Okay. Because when Mercury is in a trine to Mars, you might find yourself feeling bolder, or you might notice other people um, feeling bolder than usual. So it is a great aspect to pitch ideas, to start some new things, and also to negotiate. It's a great aspect to be involved in negotiations as well. Okay, so that is when we have Mercury in a trine to Mars on the 14th. Now, on the 15th, we have Chiron, the wounded healer of the zodiac. Chiron is going direct. Chiron has been retrograde, but it is going direct on the 15th. Also on the 15th, we have Venus moving into Sagittarius. And then we also have Venus in a sextile to Saturn. All of this on the same day. Okay, so we're going to talk about Venus in a sextile to Saturn. Okay, and remember, sextiles are usually pleasant interactions between planets. Okay, so we have Venus, the planet of love, the planet of comfort, the planet of finances. We have Venus in a sextile to the taskmaster planet. Okay, so this transit will show you in a positive way the duties and obligations that you have to live up to in your relationships. Okay, the reality of your emotional relationships is extremely important to you. Okay, because you want relationships that are real. And this transit, Venus in a sextile to Saturn, will bring to the forefront those relationships where you need to work on being real with someone else or with a group of people. Okay, so that's on the 15th. Now, on the 19th, we have Jupiter moving into Aquarius. Remember, Jupiter moves into a different sign basically once a year. And so on December 19th, we have Jupiter moving into Aquarius. Okay, so all of you Aquarius people out there, this should be a great time for you coming up, being that Jupiter is right there in your sign. Also on the 19th, we have the Sun in a conjunction to Mercury. This is on December 19th. The Sun in a conjunction to Mercury. So let's talk about that for a minute. Sun in a conjunction to Mercury. So when the Sun is in a conjunction to Mercury, you are going to see the areas of your life that are ruled by Mercury. Those areas, excuse me, those areas are going to be emphasized. Okay. You may be much more involved in sending or receiving letters around this time. This is an excellent time for starting new business ventures as well when the Sun is in a conjunction to Mercury. So that's basically this week in a nutshell as far as astrology is concerned. And remember, I don't really go over all of the movements of the moon because the moon moves every 2.5 days. So this would be a long astrology report if I included everything that the moon is doing. But anyway, this is just a summary of what is happening this week. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you would like to book a reading, visit my website, metaphysicalmoonlighters.com.